it's a bad thing, just 'cause it was a sad thing. But a lot of people wanna make it an I'm so mad thing. And you did this to me, or you didn't do anything at all. And you're so small. They belittle, 'cause they belittle. They're the ones that have fallen. Well, I understand the fallen, 'cause I've been kissing the ground, understanding the pavement, and it really ain't that profound. It's just where I am. But I've been knee deep in my analysis to the extent that I think it's all there is. This can be part of me, but it don't have to define me. This can be part of me, but there are so many other parts of me. I think I remember what I was saying before about the difference between personality disorders and like psychotic disorders. So when it's a personality disorder, it really is like a significant chunk of you. But a psychotic disorder, you kind of go in and out of that, but when the psychosis takes over, it engulfs you. Well, I've experienced like the in and out psychosis, you know, the emotional psychosis, and I mean, I've experienced marijuana-induced psychosis too, and I've literally talked myself out of it because I don't know if I'm like totally impervious to it, but apparently we are. And I think the reason for this is because, look this up if you don't believe me, okay? I don't care if you believe me or not. It doesn't matter. But this is my channel, and I'm going to talk about my experience. What's so frustrating is to have people tell me that I don't understand my own experience, all because they've been told what that experience is, okay? Schizotypal personality, which is in the cluster A personality sector. It's the odd disorders. We're very schizophrenic in the way that we talk. We're very schizophrenic in the way that we dress. But we're not in the psychosis. We understand it. So we basically have like a magnifying glass. But it's not just this one, it's like all of them. Like, I apply this magnifying glass to, like, everything. It's so frustrating sometimes, though, because I can never just relax. I can never just, like, enjoy anything. I'm always in that hyper-analytical mode. And that's one of the reasons why I can't enjoy any kind of relationship or friendship or whatever the fuck, because I'm so busy analyzing it. I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Speaking of friendship, I talked with ronnit recently. She got a bunch of government money because she just came back to her home country, and she has MS because of the Israeli military that basically gave her that because they required her to take one of those V things, those thingamajigs. You know what I'm talking about? Apparently they cause autism or something. And yeah, she immediately got MS after she was shot up with one of those in the military. And she healed herself of MS. I mean, she still has it, but like, she couldn't walk. And then she refused to do any of the things that the doctors told her to do. In her words, the Jewish doctors! True statement, okay? She knows how bad they are over there and everywhere. But, yeah. Why do you think she's my friend? Like, the last conversation we had, we were just talking about healing. And how, like, yeah, the West does not want you to heal. But a lot of healing involves, like, you know, repetition. You know, like, it's very consistent. It's not just one and done, and that's the issue with so many people. Is, like, you have to keep going. I mean, that's why the 12 steps are the steps. Like, it's a repetitive thing. And people don't want to hear that. But it doesn't make sense, though, because, like, you want to take pills for the rest of your life. That's repetition, ain't it? So it doesn't make sense to me why you're willing to repetitively do the wrong thing, but I think that one of the reasons why the whole chemical imbalance theory has brainwashed so many people is because that means that they don't have to take any responsibility for it, you know? So if it's a chemical imbalance involving depression or OCD or whatever, then that means that you don't have to do anything more to try to fix it. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to get in a strict exercise regimen. You don't have to advance your spiritual life. And it really is the spiritual life that does it more than anything. Because it's your spirit that inspires you to grow, you know? So when I hear people like trash God, they're just trashing themselves. They're just trashing their ability to be transformed. And pointing out the hypocrisy of religious people is not really... I mean, so what? You're drawing attention to something that's really obvious, that's already been stated over and over and over again. I'm not denying it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm one of the first people to point that shit out. But it's kind of a pointless thing to point out, since so many people have already pointed at it. And it doesn't change that. It doesn't change their behavior, you know? Like, all these mega churches aren't making any less money because atheists or agnostic people are pointing out that they're taking people's money. You know? And furthermore, that's not really a good reason. That's more of an excuse than it is a reason to, like, not want anything to do with God or Jesus, or to not read the Bible and apply it to yourself. You know? It's like there's so much that you can draw from the scripture. Really, the ultimate fuck you. If you didn't listen to anything else I had to say, listen to this, okay? The ultimate fuck you to all those megachurch people would be to read the Bible yourself and be the best Christian you can be. You know? Read the Bible yourself and have a deeper understanding of it. And then when you hear all these retards online talk about end of the world prophecies, you can remember certain parts of the scripture that make those people look stupid, and you don't have to point it out to them. I mean, it's not like pointing it out to them is going to change them anyway, you know? That's why I don't get into, like, online squabbles, because it's just stupid. I'm not going to argue with narcissistic people. I refuse to do it. You have an opinion. You have an idea. I'm not going to sway you from that. It's your prerogative anyway, you know? They hate that shit too, because they want that control. Well, there are plenty of other people that'll give it to you, okay? It's not gonna be me, honey. Okay? But I see it all the time. You know, if you just go through the comment section, you'll just see people that love to fight. And occasionally you'll see a comment. Like, the reason I do that isn't so I can stroke my beautiful ego, okay? Oh, the reason I go through the comment section is to see if anybody has sense. Because of all the people that leave stupid comments or very narcissistic comments and controlling, you know, hateful, mean-spirited comments, there's always going to be somebody that has empathy, and that person always makes me cry. I remember somebody on Twitter saying something about how lucky we are to know the truth, and how we should, like, thank God that we have the truth, and that it's nothing to gloat about, and it's nothing to, like, feel superior over other people about, you know, because it really is a wiring issue. So, you know, I'm sure, like, there have been schizophrenic people that I've met, like, typically homeless people, and I can talk to them because, like, I understand the place where they're at mentally. And there are people that have borderline personality disorder that I can talk to because I understand where they are emotionally, because I study it. And I think that they're comforted by the fact that there's one person that understands where they're coming from. But I really believe that it is, like, it's possession. That victim mentality is so possessive. The controlling nature of narcissism, that is so possessive. I mean, I've talked about this chick that I work with, Narky Pants. It's like clockwork every fucking day. Every hour something happens, and she goes on this self-righteous tirade. And, you know, other people at my workplace, they're so aggravated by it. I get aggravated by it too, but I understand what it is and I know why she's doing it. And so it doesn't really affect me the same way that it affects other people. And I stress it's your own narcissism, and it's your own insecurity, and it's your own lack of faith that allows you to get so riled up about what other people do. So, we have a daily reprieve. It says this in the big book about alcoholism, but I think it really applies to the ism of ego. We have a daily reprieve based upon the maintenance of our spiritual condition. So if there's a problem that we have, it's typically, and this is most of the time the case. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it is. That when somebody else is acting wrong, when we see something that really bothers us about somebody else's conduct, and we take that shit personally, it's not them. It's not them. It's us. Because that's their decision. Like, their conduct's their conduct. You know? You don't have any say in how other people behave. You don't. You don't have any say in how other people behave. You have to be the example of what you want. And a lot of the time, people don't want to see that example. They don't want shit to do with it. Fine. Fine. So I have to remember this when I deal with this bitch, because she's not a good person. She's proven it over and over and over again. I try to keep the peace with her. Yellow rock, whatever the fuck. But when she pisses me off, I gray rock her ass, because fuck her, you know? But I don't want to be in that place where I'm mad about it. I don't want to be in this place where I'm like getting all riled up because she's the way that she is. She's not going to change. Even if I tell her off, even if I cuss her out, even if I tell her exactly what I think, it's not going to change her. And yeah, essentially, you know, people could say the same thing about me. You know? But the thing is, though, like, I do think about what people say. I consider it, you know, because I want to be a better person. But I'm also not going to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can do this when I know that I'm not going to be good at it. Why would I attempt to do something I know I'm not going to be good at? Also, I can please somebody else. It's like, I feel like if you're not going to be good at it, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to the other person. You know, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe this is like a place of immaturity for me. I don't know. But I think because I've made decisions to accommodate to my personality disorder, I've made decisions to just go along with the way that I am rather than fight it. You know, my life is actually a lot better. Rather than, you know, lie to myself to try to be what somebody else wants me to be. And then I hate myself. Then I'm mad at myself because, like, I'm not being true to me. And I think that many people want what I have, but they're not willing to do what I did. Because they're not willing to piss people off. And they're not willing to be uncomfortable. They're not willing to be an outcast. They're not willing to be misinterpreted. They're not willing to have people call them names and be attacked by various narcissists in their life. Because they don't understand that it's not about them. And they can call me selfish and self-centered all they want. There's the beauty to selfishness. If that means you're not a liar, okay? Narcissists are liars. So they don't understand boundaries. They don't understand being true to yourself because they don't have a self to be true to. And that's really sad, you know? I mean, I feel sorry for these motherfuckers, I really do. But that's not my problem. You know, I tell this girl that I sponsor, like, it's not you. It's got nothing to do with you. Every time that this other chick, she goes off, I really should have gone inside, shouldn't I? I should have done that, but I did. Now I'm full of regret. It's okay. It's just a little rain. It's fine. I wonder if I have a hat in here. I do have a hat in here. Yay! This is gonna get soaking wet. But yeah, like, the reason why they pick at you is because they're insecure. Okay? So they project and they go, oh, you're insecure about this. Oh, this is a place of vulnerability for you. Well, I'm gonna attack that. I'm gonna circle that and point it out. So that you're defenseless. Like, I told this girl that I throw stuff away. Like, when I throw stuff away, I cry about it sometimes, and I'll kiss it. I kiss it so I don't have to hoard it, you know? That's a defense for me. I know the way that I am, and I'm already too much of a hoarder as it is. So I have to kiss things before I throw them away and say goodbye and, like, pray for them. It's stupid. It probably seems really silly and ridiculous. But it's something that I do to keep myself from being worse than I am. And I know that I'm already pretty bad. She brought this up to try to, like, attack me or whatever. Like, she brought this up to, like, mock me. I guess because she thought I told her this shit in confidence. And she doesn't know I'm telling the whole fucking internet. But, like, yeah, that's an example of what they do. They will, like, take something about you that you might have revealed in confidence, or what they thought was confidence, or in confidence rather. They'll take something and bring it up in front of other people to try to get at you. Like, ha ha, you see how stupid you are? Yeah, little does she know. It ain't no skin off my nose to reveal stuff like that. You know, it might seem embarrassing, but I mean, I'll probably talk about that on stage. I probably should. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I reveal about myself that most people would keep under wraps because it's not good. It doesn't paint me in a good light. But so what? So what? So what if I look bad? You see, this is the glory of identifying the shadow self, is that, you know, When you know how bad you can be, when you've seen yourself be bad, when you've seen yourself steal a bunch of shit and wake up and piss, when you've seen that happen, you're like, nah. Kissing something before I throw it away, that might seem ridiculous, but at least it's not waking up and piss. At least it's not at least it's not hanging my comforter over my windowsill because it's drenched in urine. At least it's not getting escorted out of a liquor store. You know? I can laugh about these things. Because that's how low I was willing to go. Okay? So because I've seen myself do all that, not only can I mock myself, be comfortable with myself. So, like, you know, when people try to get at me, like, I know this about you. It's like, I know way more about me, bitch. But that's why narcissists target insecure people. And that's why the one that I talk about so frequently, it's like, she hates my fucking guts. She hates me so much, but she wants my approval more than she wants anybody else's. It's kind of weird. Because she knows that I have actual confidence. And I have actual confidence because I've faced all these things that I've done wrong. And I can admit that I've been a piece of shit. I can admit that I've been a terrible friend. I've been a terrible friend, dude. I'm not really good at returning friendship. I'm not really good at returning that emotional crap. It's like I'm so emotional over here. It's like I care about people a lot, but I can't, like, there's a barrier there. And I'm pretty sure it's a mental illness thing, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It probably has a lot to do with that, but I've accepted that. I've accepted that I'm gonna die alone. You know, Morrissey, he has this song where he says, like, where is it? It's in Bona Drag. It's in the liner notes. The song is called We'll Never Marry. Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna read the whole thing. I'm writing this to say, in a gentle way, thank you, but no. I will live my life as I will undoubtedly die, alone. I'm writing this to say, in a gentle way, thank you. I will live my life as I... ... For whether you stay or you stray, an inbuilt guilt catches up with you, and as it comes around to your place at 5 a.m., it wakes you up and it laughs in your face. I really couldn't have said it better myself.